Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, now 89 years old, has designated Rahi Fatouh as his temporary successor in the event the presidency becomes vacant. Fatouh is a former Speaker of the Palestinian Legislative Council and also briefly served as interim president after Yasser Arafat's death. Here to discuss this with me is Lt Col in Reserves Maurice Hirsch of the Jerusalem Center for Security and Foreign Affairs. Thank you for joining us, Maurice.
Hi.
Maurice, what is the significance of President Abbas naming a successor? Could it mean that his health is deteriorating, or could external pressures have played a larger role than officials are admitting?
So we cannot underestimate really the importance of this announcement. It really is the announcement by Abu Mazen of the death of the PA. And let me explain that for a second. Rahi Fatouh used to be the Speaker of the Palestinian Legislative Council, which was the Palestinian parliament created by the Oslo Accords. He has for many years not in that position. After the 2006 elections, he was replaced by Abdelaziz Dweck from Hamas. In 2018, Abbas really dissolved the Palestinian parliament and really calling for elections that never happened again. Rahi Fatouh is now the head of the PLO Legislative Council, not the PA Legislative Council, the PLO Legislative Council. And what Abbas is saying is that really the PA has ceased to exist. It has been entirely usurped by the PLO and its mechanisms, and the Speaker of that PLO parliament will then replace him until the next elections happen, if they ever do happen. Palestinians don't have a good record of holding elections. They've only held 2 elections for the parliament in their entire existence. In 1996, the first one, that remained the parliament until 2006, when there was new elections and Hamas won. Since then, no Palestinian parliament has actually functioned. Abbas has been a dictator, issuing what is known as laws by decree. That means a dictator issuing laws that everyone needs to follow. And by appointing Fatouh as his replacement, he's really saying that the PLO has now entirely overtaken the PA.
Now, how is Fatouh viewed within the Palestinian political circles, and does he have the support needed to fulfill this kind of interim role?
Absolutely not. Fatouh, also as the Speaker of the Parliament, was there only for the interim period between Arafat dying and that parliament being disbanded until the new elections happened. For the presidency, for Mahmoud Abbas in 2005, he doesn't have popular support among the people. He's only being appointed really as a functionary for the interim period until new elections happen. Now, unfortunately, as I just said, elections probably won't happen for a very long time. So he will just assume this position for an unending period of time, most likely. And even though he doesn't enjoy any of the support of the people on the street, recently asked, that when the Palestinians were recently asked who they see as the legitimate representative of the Palestinian people, only 17% went to Fatah, which is Abu Mazen, which is the PLO, which is Rahi Fatouh in furtherance, and 47% said they wanted Hamas. So Fatah and all of its institutions, the PLO, which is dominated by Fatah, doesn't enjoy the popular support of the Palestinian people. And Rahi Fatouh will be just another puppet dictator there to run the PA for the benefit, the financial benefit of Fatah and the PLO's other organizations, such as the PFLP and another internationally designated terrorist organization.
Now, what impact could this development have on the Palestinian Authority's relationship with Hamas?
Well, so Hamas really seized control of the Gaza Strip in 2007 after Mahmoud Abbas deposed the elected Hamas government of Ismail Haniyeh, and that caused the rift between Hamas on the one hand and Fatah, PLO, PA on the other hand, which has been going on since 2007. They keep on discussing reconciliation talks, which constantly fail. Hamas will never accept one of Fatah or the PLO's leaders as the representative of the Palestinians, because they believe that they were elected in 2006 in the last elections that happened. And now, if there were to be held elections again, they would win again. If you remember, in 2021, Abbas did call elections, and a month before they were meant to happen, he cancelled the elections after all of the polls showed that Hamas would win again and he would lose. And so Hamas is emboldened from every single direction possible. They see themselves as the legitimate representatives of the Palestinians. If they were only given the chance to elect, they would not elect Abbas or any of his cronies.
Lieutenant Colonel in Reserves Maurice Hirsch, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.